All right, folks, we're back. This is Nate Banks with the Financial Hour on K101.2 Pop Culture Mix Radio. And again, we have a very knowledgeable realtor here in the audience, so get out your pens and paper and pads so you can take notes and, prepare yourself to be a home buyer. So, Janet, a lot of people are renting right now who are paying some people $2,000 a month to rent a townhome or just to rent another existing home already. With that kind of, if you're paying that kind of money every month, it seems to me you can prepare yourself to own a property.
Exactly. I try to. You hit on a point. I'm an advocate for that, Nate. Mm-hmm. Trying to talk to the youth as much as possible. Mm-hmm. The sooner, the better.
Right.
That you invest in you. Mm-hmm. I don't know why we feel that we need to rent first and then build up to owning a home. That's not true. If you can afford to pay that monthly note, then you can afford to potentially be a homeowner.
Right.
It's just a matter of doing a little bit more homework and, like we said, knowing that credit score, finding out what you can potentially qualify for. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, after that, I find a lot of people don't do this. They make it the pre-approval, but not totally understand their budget. I mean, just because, let's say, you're making good money and you're approved for a $500,000 house, doesn't necessarily mean that you want to buy a $500,000 house. Mm-hmm. And how did you make that determination? So you should be going over, your lender should be going over with you the financials of it and what that monthly payment is in regards, as well as understanding what your closing cost and down payments are.
Right.
So, it starts with the pre-approval, then it starts with the education of how much can I afford? Mm-hmm. And I typically advise them to start where you're at. So if you're already paying $2,000 a month, let's start there. Or, maybe you're willing to go $2,100 or whatever that window is a month. Mm-hmm. Start there. Right. And then, move forward. And so then your lender can dictate to you, okay, well, $2,200, that's only going to get you about this, and then now doesn't necessarily mean you want to spend all of what you've been approved for. Mm-hmm. Especially in today's market, you want to be smart. You want to make sure that you're, got some savings in the bank. I mean, the reality, they tell you 6 months. I don't think everybody does that or has that, but you definitely want some type of emergency funds. You have to think about the fact that, okay, what is my down payment? Mm-hmm. And thank goodness there are a lot of grants out there for first-time home buyers, depending upon what they qualify for. Mm-hmm. Well, not what they qualify for. Sorry, what I meant to say was their income, because it is federal guideline based. So, depending upon the amount, you typically, a first-time buyer, you could be eligible for anywhere from $15,000 to maybe $30,000. I know Southside I just went to a meeting last month, and they're offering first-time home buyers up to $30,000 in grants. Wow. I've got another financial lender just shared with me. They've got a great product, I thought. If you have a 720 credit score, they'll offer you 100% financing.
My goodness.
So
that's a good deal for a first-time home buyer.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, we can't leave out like VHDA. They do a lot for our first-time home buyers as well, and giving grants. Mm-hmm. I remember one really great story. It made me feel so good. So this woman was divorced and had 3 sons, had never owned a home before, but was determined. And her budget was very, small. Mm-hmm. And so it was a challenge, but we were able to get her $50,000 in grant money.
What?
Yeah, $50,000. We were able to stack, just like I had mentioned, like Southside was willing to give 30, and then, being a first-time home buyer, you maybe could give 15. That's 45 right there, right? So, we were able to stack a couple of grants on there on top. And then I told her when we finished that she needed to go to church and give a testimony, because not only did she get the $50,000, but we were in a 7% interest market at the time, and VHDA come out with this special, I guess, to kind of stimulate the market because it was doing kind of bad. They came out with this first generation grant.
Okay.
Or well, I guess you would say grant. It was called First Generation. And so basically the rule of thumb was if you had never owned a home for the first time and then your parents had never owned a home, you were first generation. And if you were, they were buying down the rate for you to a 3%. So she was able to get $50,000, a 3% interest rate. And we found her a new construction home.
Oh my goodness.
Under, what was that, Project Homes, I believe it was. And the builders were working with the county to, you know, help with affordability. And she purchased a home under 3, and when it appraised for almost $350,000.
Wow.
So it was a great program. Of course, she was required, I think she had to stay in the home about 15 years, but in order to reap the full 100%. But if she chose to sell, you know, she would only get like a 80% of the equity or whatever. But
yeah, well, that's still good too.
Yeah, a great program. So again, it's important to know people that you can trust, know people that are knowledgeable, and then can put you in the right connections to do great things. And that was a really awesome story. So we got her and her 3 sons. They were so happy when we closed. But yeah, that was a pretty awesome story.
Really? I got one question for you. What is VHDA? What is that?
Virginia Housing Authority.
Oh, Virginia Housing Authority.
Development Authority.
All right. So the state of Virginia is really helping people become homeowners then.
Yeah, they have a couple of, you know, different programs out there. I know Spark was one. I mean, I don't remember them all. I have notes in my in my computer, but I know there's definitely a help out there for first-time home buyers though. I mean, it's a challenge. I mean, just you got to realize, again, you're coming up with your monthly payment, then you've got to put your down payment and your closing costs. That's 3% of whatever the value of the home is, you know. So if we're, let's say, a $400,000 home, we're talking $12,000 for closing, $12,000 for down payment. You're looking at $24,000 if you can help and get grants to help you with some of those payments.
That's right.
And then now you're able to keep some of that money that you saved in your emergency fund for things that you need.